them hotter or colder permanently. I can just make them cooler or warmer with like fire or the passive coolers, just cause like it'd be good if I could put like a portable air conditioning unit in there. I'm pretty sure there's a mod for that. The fucking mod for everything. And I remember Grim saying once there was something that turned these into hot or cool, and all it was the difference was like it's blue or it's red depending on if it's doing hot or cold. I'm like, that sounded fine. Sound like a decent mod, you know. Just I'm curious if they're gonna harvest these trees. I see them out here planting them. By the look of it, this is it must need like a gap between them or something. Either that or they've harvested some, I'm not sure. But yeah, they're out here harvesting trees again. I wouldn't be surprised if my thrombos are eating those. It doesn't matter too much if the thrombos are eating them. It does take a bit to like grow that, and it would be more efficient to grow like a line of like, I don't know, rice or something. But yeah, it's not a huge issue. What is growing? Oh no, something's just eating it. It's growing harder. I thought I had like a little spot here that was growing like something else. I'm like, oh, it's crap, it's growing potatoes and rice. I'm like, wait a minute, this is all potatoes when I zoomed in. Yeah, a lot of people getting inspired. That's okay if they're all getting inspired. I love how they've done this. The lines around the grow lights. It's great. But yeah, what is this? This is cotton now. I might turn this to being indoor heel root. I was going to make that cotton or devil strand, but that's fine. I don't mind the corn growing inside because let's be honest, corn takes like quite a while. I really just don't want animals to get to it like as soon as it hits because it takes ages. There's a cougar around. But yeah, in these areas, I know that this allows for like permanent indoor food. And having like the rice line and stuff like that wouldn't be bad, but I kind of want to turn a lot of the indoor areas to like more important kind of crops. Like I could turn this literally into like a heel root thing. We'd always have like some food, heel root, and then do like all the other things, whatever. But at the moment we'll have corn, we'll have cotton, we'll have heel root. What's this at the moment? This is strawberries. This is devil strand. We got rice. I want to keep that one rice if I can because it's a really good grow room. Even it on its own is generally enough to keep providing. This being strawberries, I'm going to leave this little corner one being strawberries because it's so far away. When I was growing devil strand, nothing fucking was growing. Like, I think by the time people come down and plant it, it was just a waste of time. I'm pretty sure that should be fine wherever that is happening. Potatoes, I want to swap them over at some point to something else, but I think this is fine what I've got down here at the moment. I figured wherever this cougar was, it was probably going to be fine. Inspired teaming. Tofu mate, I don't need more animals at the moment. There's a solar flare. All my electrical devices aren't working. So solar flare is not a huge issue, except for refrigeration. And my refrigeration is currently -6, so everything I've got in here is frozen. And most of this will become fresh refrigerated, at least indoors. None of this should expire. I've got a lot of things that are in the state of like preserved foods. Like I have like 2,000 pemmican. I've got like 1,000 kibble. What else we got? We've got 2,700 like packaged survival meals. I do have 2,100 simple meals, which could expire. I was starting to get some good amount of like carnivore and vegetarian meals up though. That's great to see. I really should have a lot more vegetarian meals than anything else because like we have a lot of vegetation more than we have meat. So the fact that I have carnivore meals is wild to begin with, but I guess they're making it for something. Now, I have, of course, butchering benches which do not require electricity. However, I also have got fueled stoves which do not require electricity. The only thing is I do require wood for that, and I don't know if we've got a fucking single, like, I think we've got trees, but, like, I'm gonna have to go chopping some wood. Not that, like, one day is gonna, like, sort out whatever, but I'm just gonna set this all to chop. Because, I mean, whether they do it today or if they do it in a week, it doesn't really matter. We'll need it anyway. But let's see if I can spot a couple of my planter people, because that's going to be a bit difficult, because I got a lot of stuff around the map. Like, I'm waiting for them to take this shit into inventory too. You know, I got medicine and all sorts of stuff out here. Cleaning animal filth. Can you haul? I know Rose is coming over here to haul this stuff. Can you take the medicine inside at least? And what the hell was that? Was it you? Little sheep over here? There's a whole bunch of people that are literally just coming over to do hauling right now. I love this. Holy shit. Look at this group. And they can't all be coming over to do this. Are some of you guys planting? Yeah, you're coming in to plant. Some of you are coming in to plant. Now, what did I just say I needed? Was it animals or people to plant? Fucking cutting stuff. Yeah, alright. Hold on. Let's get you guys out here. I see a lot of little trees growing, by the way. So yeah, that's great. We'll have some trees. So the reason why I want to get some of my plant cutters out here is I need to make sure that the fueled benches are still running. And I figure these people, like, I'm going to have a few people that are in the area just doing other stuff. And since I've got so many here, I could just grab like a couple. I'm going to leave Whoops where he is because, let's be honest, getting somebody down here to sow that bottom paddock is a bit of work. So I'm just going to leave him where he is. Laura and I should be able to cut trees. There's a lot of people in the area at the moment that can cut trees, so I'm not super worried about it. But of course, this is more people that need to, more things that need to be hauled, and like people will fuel things that need fueling if there's stuff to do. Not the rice plant, I want Ram. Inspired Creativity by Congo. Cool. Go for it, mate. Like, I don't think they're doing like super huge art projects or anything like that. But yeah, if I can grab like a little bit of each one of my people, because the funny thing is as soon as I take them off doing the sewing areas, they'll want somebody doing sewing. And so somebody will like rock up to replace that, which will give me like the next consecutive person in the list for this task, which is great. So if I can get just like a dozen of yours, you're hauling. You look like you're hauling. Tro, can I grab you? Yeah, once we get like a few trees knocked down for this, it'd be great. At the moment, I haven't really needed this much like lumber around a place before, but generally speaking, we normally have like a lot of like internal area where shit like this can grow. Like, I would like for trees to just grow in here, like normally would. But food production was a much higher priority for a long time. Now, I'm not expecting any of these people to actually like carry this shit off. Let me be real about that. But if like one or two people, if at least a couple of trees are cut down, which there's a half a dozen people down here doing that. If a few people could do that, and then there's wood to be carted, like there's immediately 600 wood. 600 wood isn't a lot, but there's a lot of things in my base that can do with being fueled. I'm sure there's going to be a few people that waste time putting it in something like, you know, a cooling thing or a heating thing that I haven't got disabled or something like that. But I'm hoping for the most part that somebody brings it all the way up here and we work on that. I also have other benches down the bottom that are manual as well. Sorry, I wanted some water. So yeah, I should get people coming up here and fueling these stoves, which will keep food production going while the power is out for a day. Then all the way down here, some of these benches work without power. Now, obviously nobody can work on these benches at the moment, but it does look like we got a couple of extra ones built. So let's just make sure that since we got it, we got people that can come over here and work on them. Now, I have got it that like at least like 2 people can kind of make components. I would like this machine here to also be able to make advanced components. At any one time, I would like to have about 30. I don't really want more than that because there's a chance that having multiple machines, people will duplicate. Like they'll be making something while somebody else is already making it and we'll get extra. But when it comes down to the components, like I need the components regardless. All of these got made. That's great. I want to set up a bill for, not like that. I'm like probably at least like 100. So shit keeps going. Although we've almost got that. Oh, yeah, no. We almost have 100, which is great. the reason why I want the second one is because occasionally somebody gets busy, and what I'll find is that somebody won't be available to work on a specific machine. So by having that extra one that works, I automatically just kind of like fix up the issue where nobody wants to work on that machine, because at least 2 people can work on it. Yeah, there's a small chance that one person's going to be like locked to like multiple machines. There is always that chance that shit can happen, but like, if somebody can at least work on something, I don't really care, you know. This will automatically give me, I'm really hoping this is going to give me like a half a dozen people that are going to want to work on these, because we've got 8 of them, right? 8 of them, once the power's back up, we can be working on at least 8 components, up to 8 components a day. I'm not saying we're going to get 8 components a day made, but there should be part of ones made and therefore some production of it. Our steel production should go absolutely down into the bin. Like, we should lose almost all of our steel pretty quickly. We're already down to 4,000. So then going and finding components and going and finding parts and stuff like that, that's going to go pretty fast. The other thing too is, now that we've got those benches made, we'll keep making the medical ones, because we do need more medical production. Like I said, the medical production will ramp up as soon as I get cloth anyway. So that's not too bad. I do like that they can still work on the non-powered ones anyway. Like, it just slows them down. And yeah, everybody should keep working on stuff. Got another little statue, another little good statue. So, where can I put you? I guess, like, I could put a line through here if I wanted to. I should start shoving extra statues in people's bedrooms, realistically. There's a spot. I've still got one more spot for a small statue in here at the moment. I've actually got like 7, right? But for the moment, this will do. We're going to make these like super fucking impressive. I'll probably end up maybe putting a TV or something in these spots here, if I end up getting enough of them. That way my people can choose to like sit here and watch TV while they eat. I don't know if that's going to do rec room shit to it or what. But yeah, production doesn't stop when my people lose power. The interesting thing is, so I have got meat. What have I got? Is this... Oh, this would be from the caravan, probably a bit. I've got dromedary meat. I've got beef, horse, and more beef. Okay, so it's a pretty good chance that my animals finally reach adulthood. Which reminds me too, how's those eggs going? It's up to 28 eggs and they still haven't hatched. We've got like half a day. Oh, mates. Maybe move the fucking berries out of that. I know that they'd be coming out here to try to get food, but that's gonna result in my people having to chase after like so many chickens by them just getting out like that. So yeah, I'm glad I kind of spotted that. That was like immediate. Somebody must have just harvested it and the birds would have been going for the food anyway. But yeah, the chickens seem to be good. How are my ducks going? I just need them to lay... There's 14 eggs already in here for the ducks. I didn't check the other side actually, if the duck eggs are still up in here. They are. There's still 14 duck eggs up over here. There's a pretty good chance that if I let that amount of duck eggs like basically just duplicate, right? And just give them another couple of days in here. Like, we will reach that number. Like, we've got 36 baby fucking ducks. And we've got 21 baby chickens at the moment, right? We're gonna hit our maximum. Like, we're going to reach that pretty soon. I just need, like, some, like, fucking male chickens to be born. Some roosters would be great. But yeah, once we basically hit that, I want to keep them up around, like, the 70 odd again. Which means having like probably 50 adult laying fucking birds and just keeping a cull on like the smaller ones. Because, I mean, it doesn't help when I end up with like a few hundred because everybody's got to walk around and basically pat and feed everybody. It's one of those things where it's like there's 100 or so birds to walk around and give a pat to. How are we going with medicine? We've got 40, 50 medicine. Probably that we've bought more so than we've made, because I don't think we have cotton. I'm trying to grow cotton, but my animals are hungry. Like, I put this down here with the specific idea that I'm like, oh, it's a pretty big field, and like my animals go through cycles where they like move up through things. Like my rice field is pretty well grown and eaten. They're starting to get up here into the berries. I'm seeing them coming up here now. So this isn't ideal, but nothing much I can do about that. Is there any problem with having like a grown area for nutrients? Like if I check my marker in here, like I don't have enough nutrients for the creatures that are growing, like walking around here. So I have definitely more animals than I have food for them outside, but I do have a storeroom that I've made for them. What I wanted to do was have specific food going in there, stockpiling for them. Like what I could do is, if this was eventually when this gets back working, if I have a shit ton of rice or something like that, I could purge that from my inventory and shove like a whole heap of it, get like all my panthers to move all this rice down the bottom here. And then my animals would have food every single morning when they wake up. They should technically go over to eat the rice that's stockpiled for them. That's what used to happen. It's a lot of work to get it done like the first time, but once I've actually got a stockpile of food and then not just randomly eating everything out here, I have a chance then to actually grow some crops. But the only problem is I have to basically designate like a food that they can have, be it potatoes or rice or berries or whatever. Usually speaking, I normally grow like a shit ton of hops because my people can't use them for food. They do make like wort and other stuff, but like we're not doing beer production in this colony, so it's fine. So normally I'd do like a huge crop of like wort, fucking hops or whatever, right? And I would then stockpile that down in their space, and they'd have a shit ton of that to eat. But the last time I stockpiled that down in their space, they weren't super hugely interested in eating it. Also, that fire should not be on. Something I'm going to have to go around and just check. Yak started to roam away because where is open? Hold on. It's a pen marker. When I could see it. Where is up here is open. Well, it's pretty far away, so they shouldn't be up here yet. Can I get you to... I don't want you to consume it. Yeah, can you hold those potatoes out of here? And Crollo, mate, can I get you... or Ango, I don't really care who. Can I get you to take those out of here too? Like, my animals have got a long way to go before they get all the way up here, so I don't really have to worry about that. But I will have, like, other areas down here. The only way I can really stop shit like that from happening is, like, prevent them from growing something right next to a door by, like, 1 or 2 tiles or something like that. The only problem is if somebody passes through carrying something, they still have a chance to drop it. Like, if they decide that they want to eat something, but they'll eat something down there. Mates, Hippo and you two, can I get you to stop what you're doing? I'm sure that everybody's going to come down here and waste their time collecting animals to go put them on a hitch, and I've got to just basically get them to stop doing that. It doesn't matter if they go hitch them up, it just wastes my colonist time grabbing them and doing that. I don't think I've got everybody. I could absolutely grab everybody attention and stuff like that, but I don't really want to like disrupt everybody. A lot of people are doing stuff. Like you two, I need you to not take that through the hospital for starters. We do not need it to go in there. But this, I need basically that to go away. I'm pretty sure, yeah, I have this one. Let's just get rid of that because immediately you guys can't hitch them. I know that basically what that's going to do is anybody that does grab an animal, they're going to put them somewhere else. They're just going to find a random spot and I won't be able to stop that from happening. But I'm hoping that I at least got rid of it in a way that's going to prevent it. Oh, they've basically wasted fueling all of these. I do not need those on. I knew that they'd get like a few. There was no way for me to know which ones were still active until somebody like lit one. And I kind of just had to wait. But yeah, hopefully nobody takes the animals up to somewhere and they all kind of keep free roaming kind of thing. My panthers are getting around. Where are we going with the panthers? Where are my panthers section? Now we've got all the ducks. We've got a fair few. We definitely don't have as many as we had, but we're working on it. We have a lot of bonded panthers. We have some new thrombo calves, so that is good. It's always nice to see some more thrombo calves, partially because, yeah, they're great money to sell, and partially because, you know, they are also, like, pretty good weapons when they eventually, like, mature and get trained and shit. How's it going? It's going all right, Mad. My dog. I'm a little bit tired. Stretching. I'm a little bit on the tired today, but apart from that, yeah, good. Everybody's recovered from the flu except 2 people died, but they weren't super important people. And I'm just trying to get some resources up. Like, I've got all my people at home again, which is great. And yeah, a lot of people are upset that a couple people died, but apart from that, it's fine. But yeah, I don't know. I tried to fall asleep today and it took me ages. Definitely not tired. Slept almost all day yesterday. That's nice. That's good though. Like, getting to have a good rest. I tried to sleep today and I just, like, I went through like waves of, oh, I'm tired, I'll sleep now. Because I was laying in bed and I was ready to like sleep, and then I just wouldn't fall asleep, and I'm like, okay, I guess like I'll end up watching something else or whatever. So I'd watch something, and then before I knew it, it was like pretty late afternoon, and yeah, I don't know. And then I guess like something was like wrong with like an alarm setting on my phone or whatever, because I kept getting woken up like every couple of hours. I didn't have a great sleep. I feel very unrested. I go back and forth between wired and tired most days. I get that. Yeah. I tend to find, like, usually speaking, because, like, I'm generally pretty alert at night, I eventually hit a point where I'm, like, peak awake, and there's no point in time where it's good to sleep when you're, like, that kind of awake. So I'm just like, okay, I'll just do other shit. And then eventually I do get really tired, and I just don't doze off. But yeah, every so often I get like a week or a day or something like that where I get good rest and stuff like that. Try again tonight, I guess. Yeah, pretty much. Like, I did not work as much yesterday on stuff. Like, it was only like 11 hours. And stuff just took me a little bit longer than usual to kind of like get done. But it wasn't like I spent time like working on extra stuff. So yeah, I try to usually sleep when I pass out during the work week. Yeah. Well, usually speaking, I normally doze off. I think like the weather's just also been a bit up down all over the place too, because like when it hits like the middle of the day, it gets really hot, and because it's summer and shit, and because it gets really hot, obviously like I usually have to wake up to adjust the aircon so that it's cooler, and then it gets too cold, and then yeah, small problems, but realistically like I'm still waking up to do something, as opposed to usually like for people that sleep during the night, temperature stays pretty consistent overnight, all night. There's not a lot of room there to like move it, kind of thing. So yeah, you can only like sleep right through and shit. But I don't know, I just kind of failed today a little bit, and yeah, before I know it, it'll be tomorrow, and I don't really have anything special going on tomorrow or anything like that. Tomorrow night will be random game night, and I haven't really thought about that yet, because I'm like, a lot of the time over Christmas and stuff, I didn't do Wednesdays. So I'm like, now I have to think of like, what was like the last game I had in the cycle that was due to be played and stuff, and like have a look at it and stuff. So yeah. I don't know, Wednesdays are like the most consistent day that I miss streaming, generally speaking. It's either generally my day to like sleep. Like, it is actually a day that I have scheduled to stream. It's like my random game night, right? But generally speaking, if I don't have something I want to specifically play, I'll usually like rest or something that day. I've made like a whole bunch of benches in here, and I'm just making sure everything's got something to do. I should realistically have like a shit ton of people in here. Like crafting and stuff. I think the electricity is back to base. Looks like the solar flare's over. My batteries are still going down just a bit, but that's fine. I know, it's been kind of peaceful, but I'm like wary of like how peaceful it is because like I expect shit to happen. We have got like all of a sudden 130 fucking components. I'm guessing some of those were bought. So like I could deck out my entire hospital with probably that. I probably should. Just because, like, I know what would happen if I don't do it. We'll probably have some event where I actually need, like, a decent hospital. So I'll get that hospital made. I want the components to make, like, gear, basically. But I've had to hold off and make sure that other benches and other equipment and stuff like that's been made so that I can actually, like, make stuff to begin with. Now, I haven't even got something on you, but I want gladiuses to be getting made. 10 will do for the moment, or maybe 20. Maybe go with like 20 odd. And also, not plasteel. You can make them out of uranium at the moment. Because I have a lot of uranium. And usually I would make wooden gladiuses, and that would be fine. But I don't really have a lot of spare wood at the moment. So that one's all set up. This one's all set up. What have I got on you at the moment? I'm making gladiuses, making 15. That's kind of all that I'm doing. I do want plate armor eventually. It doesn't use components. I do want flak armor as well, if I can. But plate armor weighs my person down a little bit, so when they decide to go in a caravan, they can't carry as much. That's like the only like downside to that. But I remember looking through all the different weapons, and while some of these had like higher damage and stuff like that, I found that gladiuses, for the amount of resources versus damage, were pretty good. So if I can at least like start making some swords, I've got like probably mini machine guns and stuff like that. I do want to start making more guns and stuff so that people are armed. Like my components are gonna disappear pretty fucking quickly, mostly because of the hospital. I do think that that's valuable to get the hospital up and running, because that's like the last construction thing I really have in here that I'm waiting on getting built. Once I've got that, then basically everything else is just production stuff. So the other thing too is I really want them to harvest this, and one of the fastest ways to get my people to do anything is to change that over, because they love sowing crops, but fuck, they don't like harvesting it. So now that that's going to be rice, I'm going to see like this huge influx of people in a moment absolutely come bolting up here just to plant that shit up. Mind you, it's nighttime. It's probably their recreation time. But I do still think, if I just give it a hot minute, I'm going to have some water while that's happening. But I do think that I should see like a fleet of people either now or in the next morning come running up for that. Hey Captain, welcome back. You cozy lurking. Yeah, it's kind of one of those nights, isn't it? Yeah, here comes like a few people rushing in. I already see them coming up here. They're probably going to start at the fucking top. I love when I get like a lot of harvesters and stuff like that. I also got like some chicken and egg production and stuff like that going. Like we got like 29 eggs back there, and they're going to hatch in like basically within the day or about the next day kind of thing. But yeah, we've got, if you can get out of the way, chicken. We have 32 fertile eggs in here, which is great. It means like all of the eggs in there are fertile, which is rare but good. And out of here, like I do still have duck eggs up there though, but we've got 13 duck eggs in here. And I do think we've got enough ducks at the moment. And we've got the 17 duck eggs up here as well. But yeah, I told you, as soon as I changed that over to, you need to change that crop, they just immediately just run up and start changing that crop over. We're going to get this bitch harvested by making them sow an area. That's how this like works. They could get out here eventually and do it on their own, but I just don't see them doing that. Like, I also don't see this as being super great because I think my thrumbos are just walking through and eating it. Because Pumpkin's been like resowing like this corner a lot. So I think I'm just going to change that over to rice because I'll get a lot of rice growing through there. I'll get both sides of that growing rice. Otherwise it's just wasting it. I'm going to have to rely on tree cutting around my colony as best I can. Like, I'm not going to get it all the time. Like, we got 1,000 wood and that kept all of these benches, all these fueled ones got fueled, which is great. So that's what matters. Inspired creativity tail. Yeah, I'm mostly, like, those two could have hatched from it. If you fresh hatched, 6 days.